So there's a scene from the Boondocks where it shows some crabs pulling other crabs back into a bucket. The explanation is if their lives are going to suck and die, you're coming with me. And many of the people, not all, who laugh at what Brony can do for you are in essence that crab. And I'm not going to tell you that Brony is perfect, far from it, but I'm going to tell you why, at least from the inside, at times it can sure as fuck feel that way. On one hand, if I told you that I learned to use things like Audacity, Sony Vegas, a lot of social skills in this fandom, some people might point out, well, you could have gotten out all on your own, or from any other fandom. I don't recall any time where I've learned anything or tips or tricks from any drama channels, or anime channels, or furries, or any other medium that's slipping my mind. If I had to sum up Brony's #1 appeal, and a lot of those crabs will have a pre-ready to go, well, that's just sad, Brony will almost always offer someone upward mobility, no matter how shit you are, no matter how much you piss people off, no matter how untalented or insufferable you are. You will stand to learn things, gain friends, the opportunity to pick up skills. The opportunities are so vast that you'll have to work hard at not improving, at least on some level, to maintain where you are. And we haven't even begun to talk about the nepotism or escapism in the fandom. Imagine being bombarded with a series of joy-filled colors, sounds, personalities, a whole new world, if you will. A whole new world that has a hierarchy, its kings, its queens, its multiple kingdoms, its battles, its alliances, with hundreds, if not thousands of people to interact with on the daily. And then, if you get good at it, imagine, if you will, the ability to make money off of this crazy shit. Imagine that, going from nothing to suddenly having the skills, friends, and a whole new bright, colorful world, just brimming with talent, wall to wall, where even if someone is untalented, they're likely connected to someone else who is. And knowing that you can carve off a big enough piece of that pie to either make a supplementary income or a full-on one, that's fucking base. So you might ask yourself, well, fuck, sign me up. More importantly, well, yeah, with all that, how the fuck is this fandom dying? Well, why it's true, no matter how terrible you might be, you can climb your way up, at least to a point. It may seem like the sky is the limit. Congratulations are now in order. You haven't just escaped reality with MLP magic. But that magic has been rewoven, twisted, and has become its own reality that you have. Now that you have a self-sustaining enterprise, that you have your hundreds or your thousands, perhaps your tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of people listening to your words. You have taken your quiet little voice and made it a booming echo that rains out across the land, that you're looked to for wisdom and insight. And now that you're on top, you're about to come full circle. The things that made you will now break you if you're not extra careful. Remember that lesson of no matter how shit you are, no matter how untalented you are, or otherwise, Brony on some level will take you. I'm not suggesting that the MLP FIM fanbase is made of non-stop incessant autism. Don't let the crabs of the world or the digi bros or Mr. Medicers, people I do watch on the occasion, and I actually even recommend their work, feed you that nonsense.
I think it's just kind of inevitable. I mean, people fall out of interest with stuff, and it was always a pretty niche franchise or fan base, and I think a lot of people were in it more for the community aspect than for the show itself. And when that happens, inevitably, if you're getting into something because you want to make friends, then you can easily make those friends and then not have to care about the thing anymore.
The cynics, or the trolls, or what do you want to call them, will tell you that there are things that they're nothing to be gained or enjoyed by being here. But if you convinced yourself, I'm big enough to cut the entirety of the bad out, I will cut the wheat from the chaff. 1. Good luck getting bronies to agree on any goddamn thing. 2. Just how clean were you coming up? And this isn't the place for me to recap everyone who's ever fucked up. 3. People who came to Brony a lot of times do so not to deal with bullcrap, which, not so ironically enough, leads to an intense level of obscene bullshit. Ignoring a problem doesn't make it go away. Believe me. Rome will burn whether you acknowledge the flames or not.
Talk about, Zach is probably,
return.
He might very well
the constant stories about Toon coming back to the fandom it's getting annoying.
No matter how loud you play your fiddle, the fandom crumbles and tumbles because its greatest creators, its animators, its writers have drifted off, seeing the limits of the proverbial fantasia that this is not sustainable. The glow and adoration of hundreds, if not thousands, the tens of thousands, the hundreds of thousands, or even the millions, didn't bring the reformation or the warmth that once did, when such sensations were new. I'm grateful for the fans I have, though I do suspect the best of the fandom is behind us. I'm very grateful to those who helped me, and for those who've let me be part of their experience. Let me know your own experiences down below.
Did a good 4 years or so in the spotlight, and then people moved on to Steven Universe and fucking Star versus the Forces of Evil, or they became anime fans, you know, like...
This comment here encompasses every "this fandom is dead" statement ever. Digi said Brony lasted 4 years. Digi's crew ended up dipping after season 4, and his assertion here is that the brakes came off, and the experience ended when it ended for him. Well, over a decade ago, I stopped watching pro wrestling, and by the time I left, I had lost track of how diminishing the returns were for my own personal enjoyment. What used to be fun. I have a default for not remembering when time passes. Whenever I recall something, it feels like I always say 2 weeks. I'd feel more comfortable saying that when I lost track of time and pro wrestling ceasing to be fun, that'd be a bit closer to 2 years. Hanging on to something, desperately waiting for that magic to return. I'd recall being younger. I remember hating school, and why most people hated Mondays. If you were a fan of pro wrestling, Monday trumped the fuck out of Tuesday. You had 2 to 3 hours of wrestling. You had fun, entertaining characters that sustained for years. There was a story. It was its own little world, and you could grow up watching people on that show rise and fall. Imagine a show that is on once a week, or maybe even twice. No reruns, no hiatuses. It will always be there. It will be as constant as the northern wind. And now I knew that show was a work. It was a show. It was entertainment. But with the entertainment, you saw how much that you found out how, when, and why. Or at least you were given more speculation why things happened the way that they did. Someone might have married the right person in real life, and that person's job would become secure, and the people that they didn't like would get buried, and they would fall down the slide. You would see people who didn't necessarily deserve their spot. Nepotism. Politics behind closed doors, at least at times. Which is why you'd see people that you liked, that you could believe deserved to be ahead but didn't. It made that show, that fandom, that experience less and less enjoyable to a smaller amount, to a smaller audience, because you, those in the know, just knew why things worked and why they weren't going to get better. Who and who wasn't going to become a star. Now in Brony, there is no Vince McMahon. There is no great millionaire maverick or visionary who's crazy as hell, who takes obscene chances to grow his brand or fail. Hell, there isn't someone like that in the entirety of YouTube. It's a format that doesn't encourage chance-taking. As someone who ran Analysis Daily, and as well as an admin of the Secret Rift who helped try pushing projects in there just isn't the motivation that seems, when it comes to these sort of things that take months, if you're lucky, to get a mass project, unless there is the illusion of content creators with hundreds of thousands of subscribers to dangle the promise of paying an exposure to help push that sort of thing forward. I'm not even bitching. Like, the desire for me to climb the social ladder in Brony has long since fucked off. The days of waiting for... Oh, wait a minute. Antony C just put out his Sonic video finally. It's December 22nd, 2018. He teased this project 3 years ago. 3 years ago when he came on my show.
What's wrong with it, and hopefully do some funny stuff. And anyway,
Sonic Colors wasn't too bad, and I heard Sonic Colors was pretty good.
You're one of them. You're one of them.
Well,
Everyone, it's already in the review. Like,
no, I don't think it's good. I think it's not bad. You know, it's.
Yeah. Most people are like that though. And I have to agree. It's like not bad, but that's
there's
the
Sonic
best
06. You know, I mean, when you're comparing against that, anything's not bad.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Anthony. We've derailed your pony.
No, hell, you guys are doing fine. I was just sitting there going...
Links down below to his project as well as the podcast. I'm not even a Sonic fan, not at all. Not in the least, but I know it took 3 years, and I remember it because Antony C spoke of it with such a passion, and I was dying to see this piece. So I'm going to end this video here with a clip from that. Just 1 minute. If you're putting off your passion project for tomorrow, you should start it today. See you next time.
When the world asks, what do we do with Sonic? Do I honestly qualify to do this job justice anymore?
I am not the droids you are looking for.
Best I can do is hike up my old man pants and say,
Fair! You little whippersnappers. Everything's different now, and I miss the old stuff, when I used to feel things below my cummerbund.
your kids don't know what you're missing. What the fudge am I doing? Work. Real work is what I'm doing. This is not fun. Trying to make words out of one's frustration with this wobbly series is like trying to gargle billiard balls. What? How? Why? I can't. But I gotta do it. I gotta do it for Griff, and Asa, and Ox, and Etch, and both my remaining patrons. Oh, but I can't.